Hello, my name is Siobhan. When I was 17, my mother, sister, and I moved to a Christian community in Alaska. I finished high school there and started my college years there. And it was during this time that I started to question whether I really wanted to walk with God. Although my mother became a Christian when I was 7 and I had also given my heart to the Lord in a childlike way at that time, I really questioned whether God was worth serving. I saw him as kind of a heavy-handed God who had lots of rules of don't do this, do this, and this is how you can be good, and this is how you can prove yourself to me so that I love you then. And I just decided I didn't want to go on with that. So I decided to leave the community then and to move to my grandparents in Connecticut. So when I was living in Connecticut, I decided to go to a secular college. I started dating for the first time, went to dances, went drinking, whatever I thought would make me happy or satisfy me at that time. And none of it did satisfy me, but I kept pursuing it. I kept trying to find peace or acceptance from my loneliness. That year, I also went to Britain to be able to see where I was born. I was born in Oxford, and my mother and father separated when I was 3 months old. My mother came to America, my father's Irish father stayed in England. And so I went basically just to see where I was born, but I also was curious as to whether I might be able to find my father. So on a very slim couple of pieces of information, I pursued what I could, and truly it was a miracle that I found my father and his family. And it was a joyous reunion, and it's been great ever since. But what stood out to me at the time was that I was openly rebellious against God. I was openly fighting against him and resisting him, saying I didn't want his help, that I could do my own life on my own, which was not true. And yet God said, "Here, Siobhan, here, have something that you've wanted your whole life. For the past 20 years, have this gift." And I was broken by that. I was broken by the love of God for me. When I returned to America, even though I had that experience and I knew that God's love for me, I still had to make the decision to choose God. So there was one day I can remember just sitting on my bed, throwing my hands up and saying, "God, I am making a mess of my life. Every decision I make ends up hurting me or someone else. Please take over." And so that's when I really gave my heart to the Lord. Even though I'd known about him when I was younger, and I know I had a genuine childlike longing to serve God when I was a child, I didn't truly understand what sin was or the redemption of Jesus' blood until that day, when I was 21. So that's when anybody asks me, I say that's when I really came to the Lord, because it was a conscious decision. From that time, I've journeyed on in the Lord this over 20 years now, and I've come to see the liberty that is available to us in Jesus Christ, and that it's not about do's and don'ts, it's not about living in a particular place, it's not about a list of rules, it's about serving a God who loves you, it's about having a relationship with him, and it's about growing and growing in him so that we're set free from anything that would keep us back from truly being who he's called us to be.